Hey everybody, I just wanted to sort of go over quickly how to do system of equations using Gaussian elimination and matrices to solve their system of equations. So first up is to make your system into a matrix. Now, if you remember, you just take the coefficients of the numbers of the that are in front of the variables and put them in order. So 2, -4, and 14 is our solution. We may have 3x, so it'd be 3. -2y, so -2, and then 13 is our answer. Now remember, with Gaussian elimination, your goal is to put in echelon form, which means that you want to get the ones on the diagonals and a 0 in the in the bottom left corner. And there's going to be some number here. We're not going to worry about that. There'll be a number here and here, which are super important, but we're not going to worry about changing those numbers. So your goal is really three things: to make this 1 into make this 2 into a 1, where there's currently a 3 into a 0, and what's this -2 into a 1. Usually it's easiest to start by converting the first number, the 2, into the 1. So our goal right now is to make that into a 1. Now, sometimes if there's a 1 in another row, okay, it would make it just easy to switch them, the two equations. But since we don't have a 1, what we're going to do is make that 2 into a 1. So in order to do that, remember, division doesn't exist, so we are going to multiply by 1/2. So we're going to take row 1, multiply it by 1/2, and put it back into row 1. So what we're going to end up with is 1, -2, and 7. We're going to multiply everything in the row 1 by 1/2. Yeah? Now remember, when you're multiplying by 1/2, you can think in your head dividing by 2, and that'd be fine. Now I'm just putting back in row 2 because we didn't actually do anything to that. Now we got the 1, so check mark there. Your second goal is going to be to make this 3 into a 0. And to do that, what we're going to do is you're going to take the first row, which currently has a 1 in that spot, multiply it by 3, and then we're going to subtract row 2. And then we're going to put that result into row 2. Note, we're not doing anything to row 1, so that will stay exactly the same. Now row 2, well, you can sort of do this in your head. You can put it right in your calculator. I will write it out for you guys so you can see what we're doing. We're going to take 3 times 1 from row 1 minus row 2, which is 3, and we'll get a 0. Remember, that was the goal, so if you don't get a 0, you made a mistake somewhere. Now, the next step is we're going to take the -2, so we're going to do 3 times -2 from row 1 and subtract -2 from row 2. Okay? Now you can put that in your calculator, but you end up with a -6 plus 2, which is -4. So we'll put a new -4 in row 2, column 2. Now for the last number, we're going to do 3 times 7, which came from row 1, and we're going to subtract 13. So 3 times 7 minus 13 gives us my favorite Spanish number, 8. Now, we have this 1, we have the 0, so that part is now done. Our last goal before we finish this up is to make this -4 into a 1. Now, what we're going to do that, what we're going to do, and I'm going to just add another line here, we're going to multiply -4 by -1/4. So we're going to do -1/4 of row 2, going to go to row 2. Now, the first row stayed exactly the same. the second row is what we're going to multiply everything by negative 1/4. Remember, division doesn't exist, but you can do division in your head. Instead of multiplying by negative 1/4, you're dividing by negative 4. So negative 4 divided by 4 is 1. And then 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2. Now, once you have this sort of array, you have the 1, 0, 1, what we can do is we've solved the second variable. Now, we had an x here, and this was for y, so now we know that y is equal to negative 2. Now, when we do Gaussian Jordan elimination to put in echelon reduced form, you'll be able to just do all of this right in your matrix. But for right now, y is equal to negative 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. I have to the first equation. Right now it's 1x plus negative 2y equals 7. So x minus 2 times negative 2 equals 7. X plus 4 equals 7. And x is equal to 3. So now we know that our solution is x is 3, y is negative 2. Now you can always check this by plugging in these x and y value into the system. Double check to make sure that it works. Okay. So hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.